Sussex weep over their isolated life on reaping what they sow as drop faint chance to take the crown. The author behind an upcoming biography about Meghan Markle has weighed in on her and husband Prince Harry's isolated world they created for themselves after moving to California and leaving the royal family behind. The biographer insists that the royal couple have tried to make themselves stronger by cutting people out of their lives, but in reality they're just alienating their families. Here's what sparked these remarks. Meghan Markle, Prince Harry's family estrangement a result of stubbornness? Meghan Markle's infamous estrangement from her father, Thomas, in addition to Prince Harry's tense relationship with his royal family members, has one royal biographer seeing red flags. It comes as Meghan and Harry have been said to have isolated themselves from the royal family after they chose to leave the firm last year to focus on Meghan's mental health. Royal author Tom Bowers said, "Harry and Meghan have totally isolated themselves. They seem to think they will be stronger by cutting people out, but they're really just alienating their families. I believe Meghan is a very stubborn person, but I think eventually even she'll realize that this isolated world she and Harry have built for themselves was a poisonous choice." Representatives for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex have been contacted for comment. Author Tom Bowers, who is currently researching and writing a biography about Meghan that's due out next year, spoke to Closer about Harry and Meghan's fractured familial relationships. Bowers remarked that it was odd that Meghan was estranged from her father as well as her half-siblings Samantha and Thomas Jr., considering how Meghan was in her younger years. It should be noted that Meghan's father as well as her half-sister and brother have all spoken quite negatively about Meghan over the years since her wedding to Prince Harry. Charles, William, Camilla and Kate will however be there and have been dubbed the new Fab Four as they take on the Queen's duties after she announced last week that she was too ill to attend. Meghan and Harry are outspoken on the issue of climate change, but their work risks being overshadowed by the global summit. During an interview with Oprah in May, Harry said, "I believe even more that climate change and mental health are two of the most pressing issues that we're facing." Meghan to blame for Markle family estrangement? Regardless, Bowers seemingly blames Meghan for the estrangement, commenting, "From what I can see, she became a completely different person when her career began taking off, when she joined US drama, Suits and when she began dating Harry. Since the two moved to the US to pursue life away from the British royal family," Bowers continued, "they've totally isolated themselves." He added, "They seem to think they will be stronger by cutting people out, but they're really just alienating their families. I think it's very sad for them both, and their children. This won't they think of the children line is very similar to complaints from Meghan's father." Thomas said in a recent interview on Good Morning Britain, "I'd love to see my grandchildren. I've been told by several lawyers that grandparents have sued to see their grandchildren and one in California. But I'm not going to do that. They're not part of a game. They're my grandchildren, I want to see my grandchildren." Harry, Meghan living in isolated world. This isn't the first time that Thomas Markle has mentioned suing his daughter and son-in-law in order to gain access to their children, though he denies that this is his plan. Despite the fact that her father is openly insinuating that he'd be willing to go to drastic measures to force himself into his daughter's life, Bowers insisted that Meghan will eventually realize that this isolated world she and Harry have built for themselves was a poisonous choice. They seem so desperate to control the narrative that they can't risk anyone else influencing it, but this will simply cause more damage to them in the future, when their children grow up with no family around them, Bowers added. "We'd be remiss if we didn't note the fact that Meghan is still quite close with her mother, Doria Ragland. It's a bit bewildering, not to mention embarrassing, that the author writing a biography about Meghan Markle doesn't seem to know this very well-known fact about his subject matter. If this is the level of research and authenticity that we can expect from Bowers' upcoming biography, we're not feeling terribly impressed."